Hi, welcome back. Today, I think we're going to finish this little thing that we started. It really didn't start out to be a painting. It actually started out to just be, do some clouds, then we decided some mountains and some trees and some grass and some gravel. And I just kind of put it all together on the same one. So I think we're just going to keep with it, and we're going to go ahead and put that little barn in, a little road, and I think a little fence post, just really quick. And I'm only going to use about 3 colors. I think I'll use a little burnt umber, a little white gesso, maybe a little cadmium yellow light, a little black, and I think we'll just go from there and see what we can come up with just those few colors. And we'll see how this turns out. We'll just make it a complete painting because, well, that's where it's kind of heading at anyway now. So stay tuned. I'll be right back and we'll get started on this painting. Thanks. Okay, I think now let's get back to this and get started. I think what I'm going to use is just, I'm going to come up here and find my little flat brush. It's a little number 8 flat brush. So let me clean that real good. All right, and what I said is that I've got a little burnt umber, a little black, but that's actually black gesso, white gesso. I've got a little cadmium yellow light. So let's see here. What we're going to do is we had our sun, or our light source coming from this way. As you can see, we had the mountains here, clouds, even though we covered up 99% of our clouds, but hey. So anyway, so we know we want the light to kind of be coming from this way. So I'm going to just start. I'm going to just give me a little brown, maybe just a touch of black, and maybe too much black. Let me come back in here. And then I'm just going to find and just go whoop, straight down, coming up. We're just going to make a simple little cabin. We're not going to, or barn, whatever we want it to be. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time putting a lot of detail on it. That's for another, I think that's for another episode, where we may want to just paint one just a barn, nice barn scene, or maybe we'll do one where we'll have background, but just a very plain background, and then we'll make the barn be the picture. Then we'll show you how to put wood detail in it and really make it look nice. Right now I'm just going to kind of show you, we have this blank spot here, and we talked about, well, you know what, let's just kind of put a little barn in there. All right, so I have that, and I'm going to make this other side a little bit lighter because the light source will be hitting on it. So I kind of took that same little brown black as I had on the front, and I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow and see what I like about it, see if I like that. I may add, just kind of going with them chalk lines that I put on there. I don't even know the size. I just kind of playing with it, kind of make it go kind of back that way. And I'm going to go back a little bit darker right here because, oh, that's a little too dark, a little too dark. I wanted that a little bit darker right there, but not that dark. So just fix it there. There we go. There we go. And I'll fix that. And I said we were only going to go with a few colors, but I'm going to have to put some grass in it. So I will have to change that a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go a little more yellow because, again, I only picked a few colors just to get it in there to kind of show you. So I'm not real. So we'll see what we can do on the roof here. And we'll just kind of come down, boom, like that. boom, again, boom, again. And if you kind of leave those little strokes in there, it kind of looks like maybe it was metal, old metal roof, something like that. So we're just kind of come that way. Then I'm going to kind of come on this side over here. I'm just going to take the edge of my brush, kind of that chisel point, come down, just like that. There we go. See, we've already got us just a little barn in there. You know what? A little old barn needs a window right there. And I'm just kind of following, because see, I kind of want my vanishing point kind of going off that way. We'll go back into a little brown, kind of lighten that back up. And then I'm going to kind of just come in here and pull down just a little bit. And over on this side, this will kind of be the eave or the overhang. And just kind of pull that down and give that kind of the illusion of your shadow under there, that it overhangs a little bit. But again, and I'm just going to grab me a little bit of white in there. But again, it's not really part of the we're not really trying to make everything about the barn. What I did is I just took a little bit of that brown and black I had, and I had just a little bit of the gesso, and I'm just barely skimming along over on this side, as you can see, just kind of coming down, and it's just kind of hit and miss. And what that'll look like is old boards coming down there. And like I said, again, doesn't have to be real fancy. It's going to kind of be back there. You know, we could even put another tree over here to seed it a little bit. But right now, again, I don't know. I just want to kind of be about how to do the barn, not necessarily, you know, how to get it in there. But the detail, that can come later. And we can do a lot of detail later. All right, so my door there is a little bit out of the way, so I'm going to kind of, or not out of the way, but kind of out of whack a little bit. So I'm going to kind of move it down this way and just kind of, whoops, I don't like that. Let me go a little bit of white in with my brown and yellow. See if I can find me a color I like here. And it's a little big, but that's okay. It's a big old board there. And like I said, you can make it as thin as you want. Like I said, I'm not trying to put a lot of detail in this. I just want you guys to see kind of how you put a barn in. Then I can kind of, then maybe a little darker over here, a little shadow there. Maybe up in here there's a little more shadow. And like I said, right now I'm just showing you real quick, but you can come in and just keep playing with it, and I'll show you one little thing you can do. Is I'm just going to get my script liner brush, and I'll kind of come into this just pure black gesso, but I'm going to thin it a little bit so it's kind of inky, and then just rolling. You can see I'm rolling that in there, and then I can come up here and I can just barely hit, and you can do hit and miss. You know, it doesn't have to be, they don't have to be all the same sizes, or, you know, they don't have to be perfectly straight. But look there, now we have a little slats on our board, and you could come in here and come in like that and make it look like there's a big hole in the bottom of that, and that's where the critters get in. And you can put one there, we can do it there, you can do it down to the there. And see, now it looks like a little old barn, been sitting back there for a long time. And again, we can do so much more to it. I'm just giving you a really quick lesson in kind of the shape and the structure. Now let me come in here. I'm going to take a little bit of that brown. I'm going to take a little bit of that yellow, because remember I talked about making that earlier, kind of that roof color, but kind of use it down here and see. And then I'm going to just come across. That's kind of the door. And then right along there, just kind of come up into there. Let's see. I mean, look at that. Just we're coming right down. And I had it a little bit light back there. Now I'm going to add a little bit of black to it. That was way too much, but we'll see. And then just kind of come in here and just remember how it gets bigger and it kind of gets darker as you come toward the front. I should have gotten a bigger I should have got my bigger paintbrush. I didn't realize I was going to make it that big. Ooh, so maybe touch it a little more black there. There we go. And again, I can see through there a little bit. I can see some grass that we painted in there. So it's not really about that. It's showing you kind of the perspective and how to kind of come from light to dark. And then remember, we're going to seat this road here in just a minute. We're going to seat it. We're going to seat it down in there, and then you're going to go, oh, cool. I get it. No, I get it. And like I said, we had our sand kind of gravel here. Then what I would do if I wanted to continue is just kind of put it up that way, and I might still do that. We'll see what we got. All right. And I like that. I like that. So that'd be good enough for what we're doing. All right, so I'll put that there. Now I'm going to reach over real quick and I'm going to get me some green. What color green? I don't know if it's a Viridian. I don't. It's just a cheap paint that I got that I use for some classes, because I find that heck, cheap paint can work just as well as a lot of the other more expensive paints. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow. I'm going to come back here on this side, and remember, I'm just going to tap that along there. See how I like that? I'm just going to seat it in there a little bit, just to. There we go. How about a little more yellow? Just kind of highlight that up there a little bit, like the sun is just hitting those a little bit over here. So I like that. I think I'm going to leave that just like it is, and see how we kind of seated that barn in there a little bit. It just kind of goes back kind of that way a little bit now. So on this side, I'm going to add just a little bit of brown in with my paint, just to kind of knock it down a little bit and see what I like here. And I'm just going to kind of knock that down. There we go. I like that. So, and then we're gonna seat it a little better now here in a minute. But I'm just trying to get, because we went back and done this. Now we're kind of changing up our stuff a little bit, but that's okay. That's all right. Now, as we come closer on this side, there's a lot more that light's hitting this, and this maybe, I don't know what these are. Maybe they're just little oh, I don't know, some little yellow flowers or something in there. I don't know. And like I said, we're just going to kind of keep putting them in here and just kind of seating them. Like I said, and we're going to fix all that up here in a minute too. There you go. We'll just kind of keep doing that in there, and I kind of putting them in there. I'm going to put some better grasses in here in just a minute, but maybe there's a little underbrush in there. Now I'm gonna come back in with a little black, and because I think on this side in here there's going to be some shadow. Just because of the way the light's coming. So I'm just kind of dabbing it in there. I'm going to fix it here in just a second, but I think it needs to be dark in there. Maybe in here it needs to be a little darker there. Okay. Like I said, normally I would do this all at the same time as you're painting the painting, but we're going back, so and I don't even remember what colors we used. So now, see, I'm just taking that same flat brush, and where I kind of dab that, now I'm just kind of smearing it across so that that shadow's kind of looking that way. And then I'm going to kind of come in here, and just where my brush is almost like a dry brush, I'm just going to come in here, kind of come down through here. See what I'm doing? I'm kind of giving that illusion of a little shadow from the barn or the shed or whatever it is. So and then I may just come in here, and I just grab that little brush here and just kind of seat that a little bit more. There we go. And you kind of see I mean, I could use my other one. I don't know why I'm using this one. I guess because I had it handy. But there, I like that. All right, so we got that, and I'm just kind of going back up in here. All right, I like that. Now, this side over here, I'm not going to worry about, because I'm gonna fix that. Oh, I know what I wanted to do before we do that. All right, let me go into a little bit of brown, a little bit of black, mix that up. And right about here, oh, just old gnarly, look at that thing. I think right there's a good spot for that. All right, so we'll let that dry just a few minutes. While that's drying, I'm going to use my dagger brush. I like that dagger brush. All right, so I'm going to come in here, a little bit of green, a little yellow, try a little bit of gesso in there, kind of make that kind of a lime green. And let's see here what I can do over here. And I'll have to use my liner brush too, but I'm going to just use this to kind of get some in, just a few in. Doesn't have to be a lot, just trying to get everything kind of seated in there a little bit. And like I said, we'll get a little bit better here in just a few minutes with the liner brush. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough for now. We'll kick this in gear and get it going. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of that brown, a little white. Let's see, how do I like that? Let's see here. And like I said, if we were doing this all together, we would have done it all at the same time. But since we came back and we decided that we were gonna, let's just see what we can do. Like I said, I'm not gonna go overboard. I'm just kind of showing you, again, if you decide you want to take a painting and you get all done and you go, oh man, I really wish I would have done that a little different. It is possible. It's very possible. You can go in and you can change it. Just like this, I let this go a few days before I got back into it, just because I wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else I wanted to show you guys. But all right, so we just make that, again, we got the kind of harsh line there, but that's okay. If we wanted to, we could work on it a lot more, put a lot more detail in it. So anyway, that's dry a little bit. So again, this is our light side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of, get some of that off there. I'm going to kind of come in here. I'm just going to go over it, over that black. Well, what I do is the brown is, it's got some transparency to it. So I just kind of go over it, and then you can still see that black through there, but I don't hit it quite all on that side because I leave that really dark on that side. So then I can come in on this side, and usually I would kind of turn my painting but since for the camera, yeah, I may mess it all up, so I'm just gonna put just a little bit on this side. Just again, we're not showing, how to detail a post. Just a simple little post, and then you can come back and put highlights on it, make it a lot nicer on your own. You can, if I just show you kind of how to do that, because right now all I want to do is I want to get you painting. That's all. This is almost kind of like a style of Bob Ross. It's just getting the paint on there, getting you to put paint on a canvas and go, oh wow, what I did was really good, and I could do more with more, and with more time and more practice, because that's what a lot of it is about, is just practice. So I'm just trying to give you some ideas. And see, I can kind of come in here and just kind of put some breaks in there, so it kind of looks like the wood is split. And again, you can spend so much time doing this. And just put knots and all kinds of stuff on there. So I like that. I think that that's good enough. We're going to seat all this here in just a minute. Just kind of put my shadow on my, I was kind of hoping I'd get down here where where that break was, and I could put a shadow on that, but that's okay. That's okay. There we go. I think that's good enough. Like I said, right now we're just kind of piddling and playing and seeing what we come up with. All right, let me go back to my script liner brush. Get that nice and soupy. Get a little more white in there, turn it, then come back over and again, this is a little on the white side. It's got a little bit of brown but it'll dry a little darker, so don't worry too much about that. I'm probably making it whiter and a lot lighter than what I would normally do, but I'm doing it just so I can show you guys so it shows up to you guys. See, because really it's about the technique. Got a little bit too much in there. But again, like I said, this is just kind of a little exercise and different things. But this little series, please don't think it was meant to be very detailed, very, there's all kinds of paintings out there where people make them look just like a picture, and they spend a lot of time. And can we do that? Sure. I'm gonna put a series on Facebook, not a series, but I'm gonna do a video of several of my paintings, and I'll explain each of them to you and how they got there and what the method was, and you'll see my light series, or what I call my light series, kind of my Thomas Kincaid inspired light series. See, the good thing about acrylic is if you hurry up and get it, you can take it right off. Now oils too, but all right. And again, this wasn't a painting about grass again. But we're just trying to seat some of this in there, and I'm just kind of showing you. Again, you can spend hours upon hours upon hours putting grass in. But anyway, that is kind of what I wanted to show you. You got the old barn. We didn't do a lot of detail to it. You got the fence post. Didn't do much detail to it. We put the little road in here. We threw some sand or gravel on there. Still not a lot of detail, but it shows you what you can do if you really try. And anybody can paint. It takes practice. So I know this didn't turn out to be a painting, but it kind of looks like that's how it turned out. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Get out there. You can get a cheap paint set with some acrylic paints. You can do whatever you want, and or you can buy whatever you want. You can spend as much or as little as you want, and just get something on canvas. And I hope you really enjoy it, and I hope that inspires you. Please subscribe to the channel, click like, leave any comments, and we will be putting out more videos real soon. So I hope to see you then. Again, I'm Derek Burleson. This is Derek Burleson Art. Thanks for joining me.